Christians are facing severe violations of religious freedom in Russia and in Russian-occupied Ukraine, Release International has warned. The non-profit organization says that the scale of hostility resembles the repression of the Soviet era, with rising instances of imprisonment, torture, and murder. In Russia, Christian preacher Eduard Charov is being tried after questioning the morality of the war in Ukraine on social media. His 2023 post stated, "Would Jesus Christ have gone to kill in Ukraine?" In occupied Ukraine, a Christian leader has been arrested for publicly opposing the war, and churches that share this view are at risk of demolition or other forms of intimidation, Release said. A Protestant woman, identified only as Olena, from Melitopol in occupied Ukraine, is being held in a Donetsk prison for comments she made at a prayer meeting. She was scheduled to be tried on August 15th for spreading knowingly false information about the Russian armed forces and could face up to 10 years in prison. Release's CEO, Paul Robinson, stated that the cases reflect the growing persecution of Christians in Russia and in Russian-occupied Ukraine. Christian leaders have been tortured, gone missing, and murdered for taking a Christian stance, which seems worryingly like a return to the old days of persecution of Christians in the Soviet Union, he said. Charov, who runs a shelter for the homeless with his wife, is set to be tried this month and expects a prison sentence. He told the Russian media outlet Takia Dela, "I already have a suitcase packed at home. My wife will take care of the shelter in the meantime, and I will continue to help people in prison. There are needy people everywhere." The 53-year-old man could face up to 7 years in prison or a fine of up to 1 million rubles. The situation of Christians who are protesting against the war was highlighted by the United States Commission on International Religious Freedom in its latest report. The state's retaliation against those who protested the large-scale invasion of Ukraine by Russia in 2022, using religious language or for moral reasons, continued at alarming levels, it stated. In the territories occupied by Russia, in Ukraine, de facto, authorities banned religious groups, invaded worship sites, and made religious leaders disappear. In the Zaporizhia region, Russian authorities banned the Ukrainian Greek Catholic Church and closed the Orthodox Church of Ukraine, the Roman Catholic Church, and Baptist churches. By the end of the year, the whereabouts of several priests who had been detained by Russian forces remained unknown.